And this hand doesn't do anything, so you can't hold that saddle horn. Okay, speaking of saddles, another thing, if you were going to say, oh, I want a saddle, I want a horse, I'm going to get a saddle. The saddle has to be fit to the horse. You just can't go and buy the size 12 at you know, the local...
like a pair of shoes or boots.
Exactly, exactly, and that has to be fitted. So you need someone who has the knowledge of how it's supposed to fit. You know, we have a saddle for every horse in our barn. Some of them are interchangeable because depending on, you can get some what are called gel pads and make them twist it a little bit for fit. But you have to make sure because the saddle's not well fit like a pair of shoes. They're going to rub, the saddle's going to rub, the horse is going to be lame and not rideable. Let's see, what else can I tell you? We have, as I mentioned, if you saw the little pants there, we start from 6 years old, and before that, it's really nothing more than a pony ride, rather than the instruction. We have them anywhere, like I said, from 6 years old. We have a lady, I'm not going to mention any names, who's in her late 70s. And she comes and she rides for pleasure herself. Let's see. All right, so we've told you everything that you need. But what about actually buying the horse or the pony? And you really have to fit the person to the horse. It's not like, a puppy, and you go and you like the looks of it, you like the breed, and you bring it home. You can go and you can look at the horse and it can be beautiful, but it just may not be right for you. And that I would offer that you need someone who is experienced in knowing, like I mentioned, the quarter horse or the thoroughbred, or a smaller pony for a smaller child. Which doesn't always necessarily mean you're going to get a great pony for a little kid. Ponies have attitudes. We have a few of those too. But, you really need someone. If you are not experienced, the first thing I would say to do is come to the library. It was great, Lucy donated her book there. And do some of the reading up on it. Right. There's a lot of information out there. Come to the library. Read the book, give you an introduction first, and then seek out someone who has knowledge, who's in the business, because, horse traders years ago got a bad rap, and they still have. Because sometimes you'll get that occasional dishonest person who's ready to sell you, whatever they have in the backyard. Right. So make sure that, it's a right fit for the person or the child, and it's someone who can look at it and say, that horse has a problem with his back leg that may not to the naked eye, you don't see it, but someone who's in the business can help you along to buying.
So let me ask you a few questions. So
sure.
At your place that you and your daughter have and stuff, they obviously can call you, make an appointment to come and see you and see everything and stuff, and get some idea of what it costs and that sort of thing.
We are in Sweet Valley on Harris Pond Road, and I hesitate to say, but I do think she may have a waiting list, but that changes. Yeah. But it's by appointment, because we just don't want people to be wandering around. Right. But no, you can, there's a Facebook page or online, that's Pinewood Acres, and her name is Lauren Swiftfoot, right here from Musk Creek. She and her husband have a place, and then of course our place is 7 minutes from her home, so that if there's a problem after she's gone for the day, I get on the phone and you need to come now. Any more questions?
I think that people need to come that are interested, and I think that's great that you're giving the advice that before you make any commitment to something, just like buying a car. You know,
Exactly.
you want to take it to a mechanic or somebody to make sure that the car is good. Same thing with the horse, to find out the information.
Exactly.
And you've been very informative and give them a lot of information to do that. And so I'm glad you were able to come in and do this episode.
Sure.
With us
And
stuff.
believe it or not, Jim, you actually can lease a horse like you lease a car.
Wow.
You know, you don't, your daughter, like I said, maybe she comes in, she's 7 or 8, and she's this big, and she continues to ride. We bought her a pony, and you know what? She can almost step off that pony when she's, you know, 10 or 12.
Yeah.
So why not lease a horse or a pony? And then when she gets too big for it, or, you know, is beyond the capabilities of that horse, and she wants to start jumping. Well, the horse she started out with isn't a jumper. So she needs to move up to a jumper. Well, what do you do with the horse you have? You bought it, now what are you going to do with it? You know, you want to, no, she's had it for 4 years, we don't want to sell it. Well, you know what? You can lease, actually.
Yeah.
We have some of our horses, you can do an on-farm lease, or you can, you know, lease it to an approved place. And then when they outgrow it, or they decide they want to now get involved in field hockey or wrestling for the boys, you know, and they have to pick a sport, and they've decided they can, you know, they want the wrestling. What do you do with you know, poor, you know, Mr. Ed over here at the farm? Well, you can lease him out, you know, but you can say, I don't want the lease anymore if you've leased. So that's something to look into, which we recommend highly before someone goes out and just buys a horse or a pony.
Good. Okay. You said about you had some.
Oh, I do. I'm glad you reminded me. I brought along 2 books that I am going to donate. My daughter and I are donating to the library, and one is really a fun pleasure book. It's a story, King of the Wind. It's about an Arabian horse. So we're going to donate that to the library. And there's also another one here, Happy Horsemanship. And I think it probably has some of the same information that Lucy's book does, How to Speak Horse. But it goes right from beginning to end, and it's a great little book with some funny diagrams in it to read. You know, things like, what side of the horse do you get on? Does it matter? It does.
Wow.
Get on the left side of the horse. So things like that, and we're going to donate that to the library as well.
Thank you very much. I will give these to Cheryl, and she will include them, and they'll be in the children's library downstairs and stuff. So,
great.
Well, in closing out this episode, I'd like to thank Barbara for coming in and giving us all this information, and her husband in helping out, and my producer, Chandler Holmes, thank you for showing up and running this and stuff. So we're closing out this episode. This is History with Jimmy. We look forward to seeing you for the next episode. This one will be online hopefully by this afternoon. And we encourage all the kids to come to the library. There's over 7,000 books, all different things, including about horses and animals and all that sort of thing. So thank you very much for watching, and smile. You'll feel better. Thank you.